I'm so happy to meet our guest today, Grammy-nominated singer, model, producer, dancer, Tony-nominated actress. She is former Miss America, had a US Billboard #1 as a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. If that's not enough, she's also the star of The Devil Wears Prada, a new musical. I went to see it yesterday, so I'm so excited to see her in glorious Technicolor and in the flesh today. Vanessa Williams, welcome to the top of the tower.
Thank you so much. It's wonderful being up here. What a view.
It's special, isn't it?
Yes.
You look amazing. You look
Thank
elegant.
you.
I can't wait for people to see the photograph, which we'll do after our chat. But when I saw you emerge from under the stage, this is just for people who haven't seen it. So Vanessa,
the best entrance ever.
Like bar being dropped like Tom Cruise. Mission Impossible. This is the next best thing, if not better. So I'm watching and going, where is she? I mean, I see all the cast. I mean, I'm here to see the star. And sure enough, you emerge from the Dea ex machina upwards.
Yes.
I mean, it's always biblical.
Yes. Coming from the depths of hell, possibly, since she is the devil.
Making her way from Hadestown to the Dominion Theatre. But that is great. And so the point I'm making is I thought I might see you emerging up to the 17th floor here outside the window, just bouncing it. How are you getting on? How's life on stage in the Dominion Theatre in the West End?
I am absolutely loving it. We've got a fun show. I've been doing it for nearly a year and a half. We started out in Plymouth. We did our out of town back then. So that was like last June, July, August.
Yeah.
And then we've been running here since October 24th of last year. So it's been over almost 400 shows already.
Yeah. Not your first rodeo,
not my first rodeo. Yeah.
But I like that we're talking now after that passage of time, because it's now a nice coat to try on as a show. It's not new and finicky. So you know where the bits and pieces to go, and in terms of what you love and what you're used to. So how does it rate in all the things you've done? Because you've had such a multifaceted life and career.
I'm 62 years old.
Come on, you are not.
Yeah, I've been around for a while.
That's fake news. I can't believe that looking at you. Come on, that is outrageous.
Yeah. So 40 plus years in the business.
Wow.
It was a dream to not only live in London, but also to star on the West End. And I had a brief encounter. I did City of Angels back in 2020. And then, of course, the world shut down. So we didn't even get a chance to open, but we were in previews. So now I got a lovely chance to actually
get a run of it.
Yes.
Tell me about it, because I'm a bit like you in the sense that that's the only thing we have in common is that we're both strangers to a new town. I'm only here a couple of years, if that. What do you make of London? What do you enjoy about the streets here?
I love how polite people are.
Yes, that's true.
I love the greetings that you get when you get into a cab, and I love the banter. I love, people are interested in discussing, besides the weather, everything.
Yeah. I love the history.
The history is incredible.
And the architecture.
Absolutely.
There's always something interesting to look at.
Yeah.
Always an interesting plaque to read.
Absolutely.
Who lived here.
And the tradition.
Yeah, there is a lot of that. It's lovely. But let's talk about The Devil Wears Prada. It's an extraordinary success story. It was a book, like all great things, it was first a book. Then it became a movie, and then the music. When did you get a knock on the door or an email ping into your phone to say, we'd love to have a conversation about this?
It was a couple years ago, and there was one iteration that had happened in the States out of town, and this was the opportunity to new team, new vision, and also Elton John. Not only is he, him and David Furnish are producers, but it's Elton's music. So it was a wonderful opportunity. I heard his demos, which actually they've released on our cast album, but his demos were sent to me, and this is what we're thinking. And
he's singing the demo on the piano.
Yes.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
And did you find yourself very swiftly singing along? Because the music is so catchy. Did you find yourself going, "Oh, this is beautiful"?
Well, I knew that I knew the scope of it, but I knew that when I came into it, they would be tailor made to what my Miranda Priestley would be. So I love the fact that there was a vision, and the fact that they said, "Listen, we're coming to you. We're going to make an offer, but you're a number one choice, and we know that you could nail this." And I knew, given my history of, I did four seasons of Ugly Betty and played Wilhelmina Slater, which was
not an not a dissimilar character.
Exactly.
Yeah, as
you
a
know,
kind of
same
a
world.
spiky
Yes,
boss.
exactly.
Yeah.
In the world of fashion.
In the world of fashion,
she didn't quite have the status that Miranda Priestley had. She didn't run things, but Wilhelmina was
tough.
always trying to run things.
Yes,
So they knew I could do it, and to bring the style and the fashion on stage. So it's been a great combination.
It was a great call. I mean, it was a great call. You probably weren't shocked to get the call in some ways.
No,
because
I wasn't shocked, but I knew that it would be a great opportunity.
I bet. And what I found, because I went to see it yesterday, you really are. You bring a real regal heft to this show.
Oh, thank you.
I really mean that. You just, as soon as you emerge, you just go, oh, there's an adult in the room. Here she is. Do you know what I mean by that? It's just a lovely presence, and your voice is immaculate. I have to tell you, in case you didn't know. But I should say it to your face rather than behind your back, and that's important.
Thank you.
But what I think is lovely about the Elton John factor is that you can hear his voice.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes. I mean, certainly
he has a sound.
He has a sound, and it's that blend of musical theater where you're moving the story ahead through song, but also you've got that pop, that kind of bounce that only he has.
So much so, and I'm not. I like music, but I'm not. I don't have the chops that you have. But I'm saying that. What I'm trying to say is that there were certain notes that just sounded very Elton John that they dropped into. So it's like da 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 da.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking
his
about?
Melodies.
His melodies. Yeah,
Yes.
that's it. They're just of him.
Yeah.
We have to take a little piece of music, but we're going to come back because I want loads more questions to ask you. So stay with us. Have we covered now a multitude? We'll leave it there. Thank you, Vanessa. See you next time. Vanessa Williams, our wonderful guest today, the star of The Devil Wears Prada. I was explaining, we were laughing about living here and where you live and where I live. I'm going to give everyone your personal address now and your email in case they want to get in touch, and your phone number. And I was saying that I was talking about Abbey Road and as a Beatles fan, and you said the album, you recorded it all there.
Recorded the album, Giles Martin.
Now listen, when I heard Giles Martin, so just for people who aren't Beatle freaks, so Giles Martin, that was George Martin, who was the fifth Beatle. Giles, a wonderful producer, lovely man. He's done all the new Beatles anthology, and there he was, bang in the middle of this.
He produced our album.
Devil Wears Prada.
Yes.
So tell me about your relationship with somebody like Giles, with the producer when you're doing that. Is he a hands-on guy, or does he leave you to it? Does he say, Vanessa, it's perfect, I don't need to have a word with you? Or
he's like a director.
Yeah.
The interesting thing with this particular album, of course, when you go to a theater, you're used to hearing what is on stage. And I think Giles's approach was to not only take what we do on stage, but make it pop. So, sometimes it got a little too musical theater. He said, okay, let's try to smooth it out and make it more pop, because he wants them to be pop records. So that was the only adjustment that was unusual for normally back on Broadway. You get the cast in, the orchestra would be there, and you just, do your song live and then move on to the next thing.
Oh, I see.
So this was actually making a proper pop album.
And was Elton involved in any of that? Did he pop by to say hello, or did he?
He came to when we finally, had everyone there, and we did a whole big presentation.
And did he sprinkle holy water on you all and bless you and say thank you for being here?
He was very happy.
I think that what I loved about the musical yesterday was when it got to Paris. I thought it really jumped out there. And that song, you sing a song, is it called Bon Voyage?
But you're talking about...
no, you do a lovely one once it gets to Paris. Paris, City of Dreams?
Yeah, City of Dreams.
That's the one I was trying to think of. Oh, I just thought it really glowed there as well.
And that's very kind of poppy and moody. And then, of course, the girls are coming out. They come out in red, white, and blue, and they look statuesque and gorgeous.
So your folks were music teachers, is that right?
Yeah.
That clearly trickled down. I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean you should be musical, by the way, just because they teach it.
True, but they forced us to practice.
Did they?
We had to take an instrument, and we had to practice every day, half hour on each instrument until we graduated from high school.
That's tiger parenting right there. They were ahead of their time.
Yeah. So I played French horn for 9 years. I played piano, little recorder and violin, and because we had my parents. My dad was the instrumental teacher, so there was instruments all over the house at all times. So you could pick up and play a flute or clarinet or whatever.
And then beautiful.
And my mother was a vocal teacher, and then she also taught piano in the house too. So constant music lessons going on in my home all the time.
I'm trying to figure out whether it was beautiful or torture.
Spent many a time in tears at the piano with because my dad started us sat on piano. He was great. And then my mother, when you got good, my mother took over, and she was a taskmaster.
Okay.
Many a crying, sitting on the stool.
I don't want to play the French horn. I'm fixated on the French horn because it just feels so geeky to imagine you as a kid with this instrument.
Whenever I do any kind of show, like I did Shaft with Sam Jackson.
Yes.
I said, what instrument did you play in high school? French horn player. Michael Urie, who did Ugly Betty. What instrument did you play? French horn player.
What?
So I would say it's a cool instrument.
It's a great instrument.
French horn rocks.
Now that's a niche shout out, but I like it because all the young French horn players are going to go. You see, if Vanessa says it, it's true. Exactly. But it's and of course then Into the Woods, you were nominated for a Tony for that, and so you're this is not something that's unfamiliar to you. This world on the stage.
No. I mean, I've been so lucky. I've been around so long, but so lucky to work with the people that are the originators. I did Kiss the Spider Woman, and Hal Prince came in to direct me in it, and Cantor and Ebb were still making music, and they've done everything from Chicago and etc. When I did Into the Woods back in 2002, James Lapine and Stephen Sondheim were saying, let's take another stab at it, and wrote new lyrics for me for After Midnight or The Last Midnight because they could, and they were the originators. So I've had really extraordinary opportunities on Broadway and on the stage.
I just love this. I mentioned my local in Soho, my pal Killian, who's currently Jean Valjean in Les Mis, and I think you guys would have a fun night out over a couple of pints, so we might fix that up
there we go.
in due course. Okay. Vanessa Williams, what a pleasure it is to see you, looking so wonderful and elegant. I'm looking forward to sharing the photos with people now on Instagram. The Devil Wears Prada, a new musical, original cast recording, as produced by the great Giles Martin, but more importantly starring the wonderful Vanessa Williams. That's released. It's out now, released on the 19th of September, so that's going to be a massive hit, I've no doubt. Come and see us again sometime. Vanessa, thank you.